Hey everybody, Joe here. Today I'm making a weapons tier for none other than No More Room in Hell. Got a new game, but this isn't for the new game, this is for the old game. So, first things first, what you might be thinking is, hey Joe, why are you doing this on the first game and not the second game? Well, reasons. So let's get started. First, we have the claw hammer. The claw hammer boasts a unique trait that two other weapons will share something similar with it in that it has a ability. On some maps, it will not use this ability, making it a worse weapon on those, but on maps it is present on, it's helpful. That unique ability for the claw hammer is it is allowed to barricade doorways and windows. This is helpful on survival maps. Need this to survive in those maps because it helps block off any in, making it a solid choice. And it doesn't have too bad of a damage for its melee, making it a solid pick all around. Next up is the Winchester, Super Winchester X3, if I recall the naming on that one right. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. Boasts a 6-rounder, if I recall right, but I could be wrong. Anyway, the main problem is it fires really fast. Downside is it fires really fast. It has a small clip size, so you can accidentally empty this thing out without realizing it. Now, unlike every other gun, which has a slightly faster reload time than this thing, your character needs to open up the chamber. He basically needs to cock it from the pull handle on top. I'm forgetting parts of weapons, Jesus. Yeah, you need to basically he needs to pull it back, put it in a shell, then he needs to let it go forward. Then he'll go to the bottom and start loading. With every other weapon, he'll just pump it, load, or insert, cock. All simple. That added time makes this go from alright to meh. Mossberg. What can I say? It's a shotgun. Shotguns that do their job are excellent goodies to have. No matter what situation you're in, always more preferable to have a shotgun when you're dealing with a crowd than it is any other weapon. Next, we have the CZ. CZ is alright. Downside is, you're not going to be finding much ammo for a CZ. It's a 7.62 by 54R, which is trimmed. Upside, 31 rounds of that stuff means you are basically not going to run out of ammo for a while, and its chances of spawning with some ammo in the mag are really good. However, I would like to stress that you're going to want to have this baby, and then you're going to want to unload, and if you can get it, SKS, use that instead. SKS, a much better choice just for the ammo conservationism. Lead pipe, it's alright. What can I say? It is a lead pipe. Next up we have the knives. I decided to group the knives, I didn't want to space them out. Knives are debatably terrible. Debatably. See, the problem with the knives in this game... Oh, that's a cleaver. He didn't use a cleaver from the game. He used a cleaver from Google Images. Okay. Still same placement. The problem with the knives is they do a lot less damage than you think they do. Do have an upside that keeps them from the fists are better, in that you can use a flashlight with them, which is very helpful. Having a flashlight, more often than not, is a better option than having nothing. Because when you have only the lighter will take precedence over a melee. You'll have to put either the melee away or this weapon away. Hatchets, meh. Takes 2-3 swings, or 1 to 2 power swings on a zombie to get rid of them. Runners are a definite 1 to 2. Your fists are better. Sorry, I saw fists that I had to put them there. The Ruger. So, the Ruger is a mechanic in the game that not a lot of people learn about because it's not actually covered properly in any of the guides. If you hit right click and you wait a few seconds while standing still, standing still is pretty bad, by the way. Don't do it if you can't help. If you can help it, you'll enter a mode called Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter mode is basically this game's Deadeye. When you're in Deadeye mode, a single bullet will either knock a zombie back for a torso shot or insta-kill with a headshot. The Ruger excels at this. .22 ammo comes pretty plentifully too, as the boxes for it usually carry a good amount of ammo. So when in a pinch, always Deadeye the 22. Colt 45. Colt 45 is alright because it can one-shot headshot sometimes without the need for Deadeye. This makes it good if you need to get rid of some zombies quick. However, downside is 7 round mag with a reload. You'll have 8 in total. 7 in the clip, and you can have 1 in the chamber. Next is Beretta. The Beretta's pretty good in that it's 15 to 16 rounds. 15 in clip, plus 1 in mag. The upside of the Beretta is that, while it can't one-shot headshot like sometimes, like the Colt, upside is Deadeye is much better. And you can find ammo on zombies. Downside is you're not going to be finding a lot of 9mm. And another downside is that even with you finding ammo, going into Deadeye is a very dangerous action that can get you killed from a zombie. You'll get a vignetta around your full face, basically, and you're not going to be able to see much other than what you're aiming at. The reason why it's fine on the Ruger is because Ruger, you can find more ammo to make up for it. And I believe it has a slightly quicker Deadeye time than the Beretta. Next is the Molotov. Now, a lot of people would say, why are the Molotov bad? It's a throwable weapon. Well, the problem with the Molotov is that a thing that's not typically told to you outright is that fire will make runners. Runners are bad. Now, you can be excused for thinking that, oh, maybe, just maybe, I could, just shoot the runner if it's making runners. Well, those runners are on fire, and more runners are now being created by the fire, potentially. So, it's good at stopping a doorway and creating a damage maker, bad in that it makes runners. Next, we have the grenade. The grenade is something that can be dropped by military zombies or spawn on the map natively. Not spawn on most maps, but if it does spawn, fully for you. Grenade functions like a Molotov. Instead of, though, making a big ring of fire, they'll make a big ring of shrapnel and damage anything inside of it. If somebody's infected or you are in that radius, you will take damage as well. Keep this in mind when throwing. However, its effects are very nice and will do some damage. Flashlight. alright because it makes light. Pretty bad as a melee, but most other weapons can use it as a backup, and you'll have good old-fashioned eyesight. FN Foul. This is just like the CZ. Has good capacity, but unlike using 7.62, it uses 308. This is bad because 308 is a sniper round, and only in a few maps will 308 be common. That's bad. 308 being an uncommon round means that any 308 ammo you're finding, you're going to want to save for the snipers because the snipers will have better odds with them. This is good if you need to take down a horde quick, but you're better off just leaving that 308 for the snipers, or if you have a sniper, deload using uhhh. Don't know why I never mentioned that before. Deload the FN Foul and use a sniper. Ammo is much better in those. By virtue of a scope. Alright, now we have the JAE. The first god tier weapon. Now, the reason why it's god tier is the scope, and it can penetrate multiple zombies at the same time, allowing for collaterals. Now, downside is for the JAE and the Seiko and the FN Foul is 308 ammo can get pretty scarce pretty quick, as it does not spawn natively most of the time. You'll need to find it in the map's loot pool for ammo. Or, if you're on survival, you're going to need to find it in a supply crate. The downside is, since there's so many other ammo types, finding it is not good times. The spawn as often as other ammo types. You're basically going to be hunting for any gun that'll spawn with the damn ammo. Upside, that can you get ammo, it will lay the heat. And with it laying heat, good god. Baseball bat. Doesn't deal as much damage as you'd think, but with the fact that it's a bat, you're gonna deal some decent damage. Considering it's a melee. Double up buckshot. My favorite in a double barrel configuration. Now, it's in meh because it's a 2-shot. Good for ammo management, terrible for dealing with anything more than 2 zombies. Smith & Wesson. It's a revolver. It does good damage for what it is. 6 shots though, but you do use a speed loader, so you don't have to sit there and basically playing with your thumb as you know, loading the damn thing. Next is chainsaw. Chainsaw is okay. If it has no gas, it's a fist's better type category, but with gas, it goes into meh. You see, the problem is, with this and the other one, the other power tool, they lack any gas, unable to be used properly. They're worse off than they are before. Chainsaw is the better of the 2 power tools, but if you can't get one, you get the other. Fuel is the only item that is used, and it's for these 2. So don't worry about fuel being needed for something else, like say, oh, I need to keep this fuel around for a flamethrower. No. However, downside is, fuel can get pretty scarce, and while they do spawn in good quantities, the second you run out of fuel on a map, that's it. As it can get pretty scarce, even in supply crates. So keep in mind that these should be reserved for horde clearing. Crowbar, okay, is a meh. Boobar. I'm gonna have to say it's top of good tier. Boobar is the first of what we call the equalizer. You see, the equalizers are basically a set of melee weapons that will devastate a zombie. Upside, they will destroy zombies instantly. Downside, lights and heavy swings will take forever to get ready. That's about it. The bow and arrow. The bow and arrow is a slept-on weapon, mainly because you need to get some practice in for it to be good. When you do have the practice, by fucking thunder, is this thing god tier. Unlike other weapons, it has the specialty of being able to reuse ammo. Downside, the ammo can fly away if you get a through-and-through headshot and the head explodes. So keep track of the arrows, and on darker maps, it's especially noted to keep track of those arrows. Because if you run out, the bow's just about useless, as arrows typically may not spawn on maps. But if they do, the bow and arrow becomes your lifelong friend. And since it can detonate heads, it's also pretty good at killing zombies. Once. Pipe wrench. Pipe wrench is used as a spawn weapon. It suffers the same fate as the hatchet in that since you spawn with it, it's not going to be that good. Fire axe is pretty good. It's no head destroyer, but it gets the job done. E-tool. E-tool is pretty good. Has two modes. Shovel mode, which deals less damage but allows you to smack more zombies. And pickaxe mode, which allows you to smack a singular zombie for higher damage. Good. Glock. The Glock has a chance of spawning on zombies, military ones, and can be found in crates. Upside, it carries more ammo than a Beretta since it's a double stack instead of single. And it shares a lot of characteristics with the Beretta, so less said the better. Machete. Machete is the best melee weapon in the game for single-handed light weapons. It basically will 2-tap any zombie in the head, meaning you can just basically quickly slash and they're gone from your existence. Good. Like this. Pickaxe. Pickaxe is the god tier weapon. It is the top of the eviscerators. It is basically a destroyer. With light hits, it can swing through multiple zombies at the same time, and with a power hit, it directs all the focus on one zombie. Try and use light hits as much as you can to get that big, huge horde. Oh, baby. When it gets that big horde, ooh, baby. It will actually get you through some hordes of zombies, if you're good enough with it. MP5. MP5 is actually going to be the first so bad of a gun. The downside with the MP5 is it has a high fire rate compared to the ammo type. It's 9mm, and with 9mm high fire rate, you're going to run out of 9mm quick, and 9mm is pretty bad as is. So, you know. Yeah. Circular saw, that's same issues as the chainsaw, only it's the worse of the two. Seiko 85. Pretty good, pretty good. Can go through multiple zombies if you do your shots right. It just has a slightly less ammo count than the JAE. So, if you have a Seiko and you see a JAE, pick up the JAE. But if you don't have a JAE, you stick with your Seiko. Sledgehammer. Boobar and Sledgehammer are both pretty good. It's just Pickaxe has the group control capabilities. Next is Shovel. Meh. Flare gun. It's... So the point of the flare gun is it's supposed to be a mobile flamethrower. The thing about it being the mobile flamethrower is it'll hit one zombie, light them on fire. Not use this for this purpose, though. Unless you have to. Its main draw is in survival mode. Fire it into the air. It'll interrupt the current wave of zombies with a FEMA supply drop. This can happen once every round. So once a wave goes through, you can fire it off again and get another supply crate in. Do this as many times as you have flares, so pick your time. This secondary ability of it makes it incredibly good at not killing zombies. So for every other weapon that'll get rid of zombies, the flare gun has it off the worst because its main draw is that it's not supposed to. Don't use it for that. And there's a chance that if you do hit a zombie with the flare gun, it'll turn into a runner and bite somebody's throat out. Fire extinguisher has bad hit to kill ratio. Takes a lot of stamina and can only put out fires if the map developer has inputted that code in. So it's okay, and specialty is meh. The hammer has more use cases than this fire extinguisher. TNT. If you liked a grenade, then I hope and pray to God that you like the fact that TNT is more rare. The upside of it being more rare, though, is that its explosion is much larger. Downside, though, is that if you're in that radius, good God, are you gone. A grenade has a chance to kill you in its radius. The TNT will just kill you. So be careful. The only reason the Ruger... Hold on. Okay, there we go. The only reason the Ruger escapes being the fists are better territory is because it's a ranged weapon. The reason it's so low, and I can't stress this enough, is if you have a Ruger user, like the small, like this little guy, do not use this. If you use this, you hurt him because he knows what he's doing. The rifle Ruger cannot use Deadeye mode, meaning you are wasting 22 rounds for no reason. Even though this has a bigger clip, he can one-shot. Cannot. Save the ammo from this for him. Next is the Winchester. Unlike the revolver, the Winchester is a lever action. Higher amount of rounds you can put into the thing, and it's, yeah, a rifle. Downside, it barely spawns on any map, so people don't really see it too often, and if you do, people that do know what it is will unload it and just use a revolver. Because the revolver fires a little faster. While it has less ammo, it's a lot more reliable in terms of hitting things than this lever action. Remington 870. The reason why the 870 is so good is because it boasts an extra couple rounds over its Mossberg counterpart. Upside, it has more rounds. Downsides, it's none. It's actually the best shotgun you can use in the game. See, unlike the XM, which can just empty its mag in seconds, the Remington is a much easier weapon you can ammo manage because you're counting your shots off. Yeah, it's good. Good for what it is. Good old M4A1. Let it be known that an M4 is good. There's two models. There's the M4A1 carry handle and with ACOG. Carry handle is still in the good tier, and so is the ACOG. The reason why they're both here is because Nat Guard zombies have a good chance of dropping the 5.56 ammo, and this baby is hungry for that stuff. So if you ever see 5.56 and you're not the guy with the M16, pick it up and hand it off to Buddy. He'll need it. Upside, this can one-tap zombies. It's a great horde clearing device if you have the ammo for it. And all in all, it's just a great It's not god tier just for the fact of the god tiers are I can swing your hat off in 2 solid cleaves and it has very little stamina draw. This has a scope and will allow you to multi-tap zombies, unlimited ammo if you're doing it right, huge blast radius, and I can take out groups of zombies in a single swipe. So it's stiff competition for god tier status. Next is the Uzi. It's basically the MP5's 45 ACP cousin. The only reason you pick this up is because you want the ammo out of it. You don't want to use it because it actually is worse somehow. Next is the SKS. It goes into god tier because if you're using the bayoneted version. If you're using unbayoneted, it would go into good tier. Bayoneted version goes up here because the bayonet will actually have a good chance of one-tapping zombies with a headshot, as your shove is now replaced with a bayonet stab instead of shove. The unbayoneted version is still a shove. Use this carefully and sparingly, the unbayoneted version, because you have a chance of running across the bayoneted version. Now, we're off to the worst weapon in the game, the welder. The welder has very little uses. Some maps don't even use function, which is to open doors. It will take the same amount of hits as your fists to kill with this welder. It is the worst weapon in the game with the fists. And that's all in all, my list. If I had to say any final remark, I am remiss that I can't talk about No More Room in Hell 2 because I haven't played it yet. The main draw of this review was that I've used all these before. I played No More Room in Hell once to such an extensive degree, I know all these weapons stats basically. Even if I can't remember certain statistics, I know how good they are in use. Reason why people don't use the bat, it's bad. Not that good. Grenade's good because, you know, you can find more of them and throwing them it clears out a small group of zombies. Good. But with No More Room in Hell 2, I'm getting conflicting things where people say, oh, this is good, or no, it's terrible, but it just sounds like hit ranges. And if those are, you know, fixed, yippee. Anyway, this has been Joe's ultra lazy tier list of the day. And I hope you all enjoy the day and hope you have a good tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you all again next time. Bye!